Hello there.
It's your old pal Dish, and today you're gonna slap that like button and subscribe immediately. I also have a reaction channel and a streaming channel, which you are also required to subscribe to. The links are down below. For today's video, I interviewed Mike Monroe for my podcast called The Secret Formula. Mike Monroe is a musician who does frequent live streams on both YouTube and Twitch.
If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I will follow you into the dark.
He's also been releasing a fair amount of original material. Click all the links down below to support Mike.
And now I present to you
Episode 2 of my podcast,
The Secret Formula. Enjoy.
What's up, Mike?
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good, dude. I was saying this earlier when we were talking, but it's like been a while since I've seen you in person.
Yeah, like actually physically, yeah. I mean, we've seen like videos of each other and stuff from when we were working together, but to actually like talk like face to face, I don't think we've done that in like what, probably 4 or 5 years.
5 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, something like that. I remember the first time I think we met up in college, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was at this like open mic night type deal. And I think the day I met you there, you were talking about like what careers you wanted to go into. And you said, yeah, like you wanted to play gigs and such. And you also wanted to be an audio engineer. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, that is 100% accurate. I was going through college at the time as a digital artist, like digital multimedia. I took classes both video production and audio production, both in high school and college. I mean, since then, my plans have changed. I think, life never goes exactly as you'd expect it to, but
right.
That's still a huge passion of mine.
Sheesh, man. I mean, like, yeah, as far as you were saying, like, 2020 has just put everyone in the same spot. You're doing the best with what you got, dude. Just think of it like that. Everyone's in the same circumstance.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've hung out with more than 2 friends at once.
Right. Yeah, it's quarantine season.
Hopefully that's over soon.
I'd hope so too, man. Fuck, dude. We'll see. Like I'm hearing that like 2021, like we might end up feeling grateful for living in 2020, but 2021 is just gonna be fucking worse.
Yeah, we're getting our dues out early. We're paying them now so that we get all the return in 2021. All that extra interest, the APR that stacks up.
Taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shitty
Dude,
presidents.
tax season's gonna be sick. I've been working so much.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that earlier when I was bullshitting with you. You were saying like you're working like 8 days a week.
Practically.
Gnarly, bro.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been on the same job for the last year. I sell phones. It's a very enriching career, as you can imagine. And it's 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, or 8 hours a day with that 1 hour lunch.
Right.
And that's been all right. The only thing I can really complain about is my commute, which is 30 to 35 minutes each way.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I also grew up in California where that was commonplace. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, recently I was promoted to manager, or interim manager at the very least, for at least 3 months, and then we'll go from there. And suddenly my 5-day-a-week schedule went to an 8-day-a-week schedule. I'm on like my 7th or 8th day. I work tomorrow and possibly work Monday.
Sheesh, man.
It's kind of fine though. Like I've been peeling and doing like half days for the last 2 days, so it hasn't been like entirely burnout.
Getting a little break now. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. I'm at like 50 hours though. So.
Sheesh, dude. Yeah, I know in your spare time you've been doing a lot of those streams where you play like Smash Bros and stuff. And I remember I was like texting you on Facebook about it. You're like, yeah, dude, like I fucking played Smash Bros competitively.
Yeah, I'm pretty trash at it, man. You know, I've been playing that game for like 4 or 5 years, probably about 5 years now, 2015. And I love it. I love every one of the games, even the bad ones. They have something that you can like take away from them. But I play Super Smash Bros. Melee competitively, which is the one from 2001 on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, the older one.
Yeah, and then I also play the new Ultimate semi-competitively. I'm pretty good at that one, and it's just a lot of fun. They're great party games, but like if you get two people that are like pretty equally matched, it can get heated, dude.
Oh, I bet, dude. And there's money on the table too, right? I mean, competitively.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go into it expecting to earn an income. I mean, like the best player in the world might get $40K a year, which is less than what I make selling cell phones. So,
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a passion thing. It's grassroots.
Yeah, man. I mean, it gets your head in a different space. Playing video games is always like, it's kind of it is sort of a meditation if you think about it. You're in like a different world. You're only focused on one thing. You know,
it's escapism, really. It's just like this mental escapism, and then like on top of that, like it's also like a palate reset from like real life. If you do it too much, it becomes a headache, and it just becomes like dreary and dull. But like dedicate like 10 to 30 minutes just like a day. Not something that's going to take over your life, but just like set it aside and do something and just be in that headspace for like 20 or 30 minutes. And it actually makes everything else kind of fall into place a lot better.
Yeah, I think so too, dude. I mean, you really got to prioritize your time. You know, that's what life's really all about. You got to spend it where it need be. Like obviously, you put a lot of time into your streams and such, which I'm proud of you, dude. Fuck, like I was saying that earlier as well. Like you stream for like 3 hours at a time, you know, doing covers and such, and a couple originals I've noticed on there as well.
Yeah, I'll throw an original in just to spice it up occasionally. I mean, like when you go for 3 hours, I for one definitely don't have 3 hours of originals. I wish I did, dude. That would be sick. I'd be famous. But no, yeah, man, those streams are a lot of fun. I have been neglecting them lately with everything else going on in my life. You know, as I said, I just got promoted, and even before that came to works, I had been like hard at work, making sure that I was hitting all my goals and deadlines and all sorts of things. Right. But I'll probably be getting back to streaming sometime this month and getting back into that weekly cycle. I just don't know what day yet.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. I also kind of want to ask you about like your big move up to Washington. Am I correct? Yeah. So what made you want to move all the way out there to the Northwest?
It's like a lot of things that all compounded, and like I was kind of like in a really bad headspace. I was living with two people that I really liked as roommates, both Jacob and Brennan, and then later on Ben. And all three of them were terrific people. But I always felt like, you know, I was sharing a room, which, that's never fun. But it's the only thing I could afford. I never was able to find a full-time job down there. Yeah, so I would get less than $1,000 a month, which hardly paid for car insurance. It definitely didn't pay for car payments, rent, food. California, man, unless you're like, you know, some sort of like certified badass and hold down two jobs, it can be difficult to make a living. So
it's brutal, dude.
That was a big thing. On top of that, I just kind of hit like an emotional wall where I figured where I was at in life, I wasn't going to get much further. And I think a lot of that was that the county I lived in felt kind of like a bottomless pit.
Yes.
Where things
issue.
go to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Sonora though is like it brings a lot of talent, man. Like just local bands I've seen there, like they're kind of in their own headspace. Like they got their own sound and stuff. And I think, like we were saying earlier, like where you spend your time, I think boredom can create some serious talent as well. You know, you get dedication because that's all you're putting your time into.
No, absolutely. I definitely had a lot of free time. But the thing is that if you're not like pushing yourself to advance in a positive direction, that free time very quickly becomes toxic.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's always improving, trying to one-up yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so like, yeah, I guess between like financial stuff and feeling like I kind of hit my peak of what I was going to be able to succeed at in that county, along with just the fact that basically everyone but my father moved up to Idaho, northern Idaho.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my grandfather, my aunt, my mother, my sister, my grandmother, my uncle, and a few other people. We all live up here. And even my dad was thinking about moving up here, but he's long since separated since my mother. And he, on the other hand, is kind of forging his own path in life. I think he's spent years and years dedicating himself for 40, 50-hour work weeks, just try and make it by. And I feel that.
Right.
And so I think he kind of like hit this like emotional burnout when he was like 45 or 50, where he realized I'm still exactly where I was when I was 30 years ago. And so he's trying something new. He's got a motor home with some solar panels on the top. He's got a dog, and he just goes to various RV camps out on the coast, like San Francisco.
Sweet, dude.
And yeah, he lives out of his motor home. He's got like a poster printer in there. He's got a laptop, and he just does a bunch of graphic design and rock and roll posters and stuff. And under ordinary circumstances, if you were trying to pay for a family or pay for rent or something like that, that sort of lifestyle wouldn't work. But because he already had that stuff from over the years, he's making it work. And honestly, I'm kind of proud because I'm pretty sure he's happier than he's ever been. And I think he needed that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs a quick change in their life, dude. And especially like if you're checking out new places, you have a mobile home. You can go wherever you want, Life never really becomes dull at that point. I don't think humans were meant to really settle as much as like we're supposed to migrate, go to new places. And
no, yeah, you look back, since like the beginning of time, you had nomads, you had gypsies, you had like traveling tribes. It's nice to have a homestead, know that you own a piece of land, but I often regret like not being more travel-y. The only places I really go is I visited California twice since I moved up here. It's been 3 years. Both times that trip was awful.
Oh, really?
So oh my gosh, 16 hours.
Oh
of
yeah,
driving.
I guess so, dude. Yeah. That's gnarly.
Yeah, the first time I came down in my 2004 Hyundai Sonata.
Oh.
And I made the trip in one day, and then I passed out on my friend's couch.
I bet, man.
Yep.
Brutal.
And then the same thing on the way back because I just couldn't wait to get home. Second time around, I was a lot more prepared, a lot more confident and happy. I was also driving a 2018 Chevy Cruze, so that was a much cushier trip. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've moved so many times, and I definitely feel you like on like road trips and stuff. They're super stressful. I remember like my phone dying in between moving from Sonora to Brookings, which is ironic because that move was like I moved from a small town to another small town. Like it wasn't the fact that like I got more opportunity. It was like I kind of just moved to move. I don't know. I was gonna start a band with my buddy up there, but nothing really happened. I ended up starting like this little bluegrass band, and we played like our first like big gig there to like this basically bunch of old people, this retirement home. We got a standing ovation, but like
that's terrific. I think I actually saw one or two videos of you playing with your buddy in some sort of bluegrass setting, but yeah. I don't think it was recent, was it? It was on your Facebook on Dishpapa, like. Man, maybe like 6 months to a year ago, easy.
It was probably, yeah, because I lived in Brookings about 2 years ago. But you know what? That's the thing about life, dude. It's all about like the journey. You don't know where you're gonna end up. I didn't even think I was gonna do YouTube as much as I do. I thought, I was gonna be in a big band and I was just gonna tour the world and I'd be mind blowing with all my new sounds and what I have to offer. But no, you really have to have a goal and focus on it. And I didn't know what mine was personally, Mike. I had no idea. Like when we played in a project together, I was fucking lost. Everyone was telling me, "Oh, music, you can't pursue music. Go to college." And like, I kind of wish I just would have done it. But
Yeah, I mean that project's. I enjoyed doing that. Playing. I think I only played with you once or twice.
Yeah, literally 2 times.
But yeah,
I wasn't as driven as I thought I was. Pretty lazy then, but more
no,
scared.
I mean
more like I didn't know what I was doing.
That thing went nowhere anyways. Unfortunately,
Thanks to yours truly.
you ever? No, did you ever hear how that whole thing ended?
No, I didn't actually.
So that was the Messengers. It was a group that I created alongside of my roommate Brennan at the time, and it was with Ian Evans and a few other people, and we just kind of did various stuff, mostly rock covers and stuff. Nothing crazy. I had some songs in the work, but we never got like busy enough to really do it. But the reason that whole band started was I needed a creative outlet. Otherwise, I was going to bang my head on a wall until one of the two gave. I was in a country band at the time, whose name I shall not divulge.
Oh yeah,
but,
I forgot about that.
But we were trashed here. Like we were so bad. Like when we went into the studio. I mean, it's terrible to say because I don't even think I'm good, but I'm pretty sure I was the strongest link.
Oh, really? As far as like, well, dude, you always got shit done though. Like as far as like being a member of the band, like we're always like Mike's holding this shit down, dude. Like
yeah,
I think that was
like,
one aspect I always wanted to bring to like anything I fucking do. I was like, he's just holding it down. Like he's
I mean, we had a bassist who didn't know how to play bass. We had a drummer that didn't know how to drum, and we had a like. Honestly, I can't say the singer. He was pretty good, and he was very creative until he wasn't. Like,
okay,
his first couple songs were terrific, and then I noticed this really bad trend where he just played 1-4-5.
Jesus.
Like he just played G, D, C. Those were the 3 chords he always played. Never anything else.
Oh
Even if the melody was different, it was always that. So like, there came a point where I just wanted to just quit. Instead of quitting, I took that like stressful energy and I just moved it into another group. And we started opening for that band. And the singer got real jealous.
Huh, I didn't know that. There's some drama in there, dude. There always is with bands. Egos for days, dude.
Yeah, and I had an ego too, because like I at the time, I was like, oh, I'm the best person. I'm the person contributing most. Why is this not going anywhere? I'm really trying. And I was making shirts and merch and all that in like my home, and I was designing stuff with graphic design and Adobe Illustrator, the whole deal. So I was creating merch for them and all that, but like it wasn't going anywhere. So for me, creating that side project was to try and find an escape, an excuse to maybe jump ship.
Right.
And the singer kind of took it as such, rightfully so. And what's crazy is that it like came to a boiling point
yeah.
when we played a wedding. And we did the wedding set, and it was just sloppy as all heck. And like it probably sounded good to the audience, but like to me, it was just driving me nuts the entire time, and I was in such a bad mood. And I had to like go and host something after. I actually had to host a Super Smash Bros. Tournament.
Oh, huh.
Of all things. It just came to like this point where I didn't even bother to help tear down the equipment. I just left. And I think
Mike.
at that point, like...
Fucking diva over here.
Yeah, I mean, and we just left. And I think at that point was really the indicator that it was kind of over. And since then, that singer, and he's a terrific guy. I really think he's a great guy. He's got 2 kids. He's done a couple bands since. He's been in like another country band. Now he's in a rock band that's doing pretty good for themselves. He's a genuinely good guy, and I wish him the best. But like, I also hope I never have to play with him again.
Wow. Huh.
Because even though he's fun and he really is like a hype machine, his music, I think, is just like not something I jive with.
that's kind of the thing too. I was wondering, like, I had never heard you like talking about country music as like something you'd want to pursue. You know, like that. I can't really picture that. I mean, are you into like Hank Williams or anything, or Johnny Cash, or like did that ever?
Honestly, I'm not into any of them. I'll sing Johnny Cash occasionally and do covers of like Cash, and I know like one Garth song, but it's not even a Garth song. It's a Bob Dylan song. I know Wagon Wheel, but
Everyone knows Wagon Wheel.
Of course, because it's a GDC song.
Yeah. I played Wagon Wheel in my bluegrass band. But yeah, so you're saying that like country music it isn't for you, you know?
Yeah, it's too simple. It's got a lot of heart and it's got a lot of soul, but it is too simple for like to keep my interest. I'm an ADD, like ADHD monster, dude.
Right. You don't want to be playing that.
If I'm not keeping my mind busy 24/7, I go crazy.
You don't be playing that sister cousin blues anymore. All right, yeah, I see where you're coming from, dude. Yeah, man. I also kind of wanted to talk about like obviously playing with you and stuff as a band. We never played live, but I just kind of noticed like you as a singer, you didn't really ever get nervous. For me personally, I don't know maybe if you were or not, but I couldn't tell. But for me personally, like every time before I went on stage, like I felt like I was about to vomit, you know? And even singing, like I would just like choke up. Even recording, actually, when I was doing my super trash mixtape. Which I will never reveal to anyone. I just choked up, man, on the mic. Like I couldn't perform at all. It was a lot. Like I had like straight up anxiety attacks. What were some things you did to like get over stage fright, if you ever really had a lot of it?
That's a weird one. Like, I guess my secret is that I'm always anxiety ridden. Like, whether or not I'm playing in front of 500 people or I'm playing in front of a girl I like or something, like
right.
It's always gonna freak me the hell out. So like I have learned to play it cool, for lack of a better word. And I mean I'm super socially awkward. You should see me at parties, dude. I'm the one in the corner like on their Game Boy Advance.
I'm the same way, dude. I totally relate.
Yeah, so it's like I am not a social person, but I am really, really good at faking it, man.
Sheesh.
And I mean, I'll go on as well with like the solace of, and I think this is really like a good piece of advice in general. You're always your worst critic.
Yeah.
You should see me. I have like 12 or 15 different projects I'm working on my computer right now, with original songs and all that. None of them are finished because none of them hold up to my standards.
Oh my God,
of what I want it to sound like. And it drives me nuts because it's like, man, this music, I could release it to like half of my standards and probably be like relatively well received amongst my friends and stuff and really get my name out there. But instead I'm just like crippled with the anxiety that, oh, they're going to pick it apart. They're going to hear my voice and think it sounds bad. They're going to do this and that. And so I'll re-record vocal takes for like 6 hours and not get anywhere.
I've done that too. That's funny you say that. Like the vocal thing, like I also feel you on the fact that like it's not good enough to put out, you know. I haven't released a lot of original music as well, mostly due to because I wanted to find a singer, but over time I've kind of found out I have to be the singer. Yeah, dude, I fucking feel you on that, man. I'd love to hear it. Send me all of it. Like, I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Just start sending it to friends. Start
there.
like slow.
I got a song called Athena in the works. It is based off the work of Homer's Iliad. It's going to be like a 6-minute song, but I'm trying to like basically take inspiration from both Radiohead and like Porcupine Tree and like Death Cab for Cutie and kind of go for this more like laid back, soft, atmospheric rock.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Yeah, but the problem is that like, again, you get into this headspace where you go into, you're like, oh, crud, this doesn't sound right or it doesn't sound good enough. And the next thing you know, you end up obsessing over like a 2-second piece of the song.
Yeah.
And you don't focus on the larger picture. And so I got a song that's structurally dang near complete. And all I have to do is really record some vocals over the top of it and maybe make the drums sound a little less barren, because right now it's just like a kick and a snare.
Oh, well, more simple the better, Mike. You got to think about that too, dude. Like the hook is really what matters, and like what you're trying to say. Like as long as the premise and the hook are just hand in hand, it's usually pretty good, man. Or that doesn't even have to matter either. I mean, look at nonsensical lyrics like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like most of the time, I don't know what the fuck that guy's talking about.
A terrific example of that is a song called Off You by the Breeders.
I'll have to check that out.
And it's by Kim Deal, who's the bassist, or the original bassist of the Pixies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she split off and did her own thing with her sister. And Off You by the Breeders is just the most beautiful, melancholy ballad. And none of the lyrics make even close to sense. Like, they're not even like formulative sentences.
Huh.
Yeah, the closest you get, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it, is the closest you get is the main hook, is like the only coherent sentence in the entire song.
That's what matters, though.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, like, your brain goes, oh, I am the autumn and the scarlet, I am the makeup on your eyes. And then it goes back to gibberish.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
lyrics are just, they're difficult. You also have to know, like, what do you want to write about? You have to also kind of know, like, who you are and what you like, you know? And I think I kind of learned that over time from just watching other YouTube channels of people talking about writing lyrics. And there's a lot of, like, cliches in there. But, yeah, for me, like, I'm super, like, ADD, like you're saying. Kind of white trashy. I kind of relate to that more than anything. I just try to write from the perspective of who I am. You know, I'm kind of a lazy dude.
I think you got to embrace, like,
your flaws and also just your personality. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. If you don't think that it's good, then you're directly hurting yourself. Like, you got to kind of own up to what you are. Like, look at Billie Eilish, a great example. Like, everybody else is out there in dresses, and she's out in the baggiest of clothing with colored hair that looks like a mess.
Yeah.
And people love her for it.
The imperfections.
It doesn't hurt that she's also, like, probably the best singer that pop music has right now. But
literally, yeah.
But, like, yeah, I mean, she's, like, a terrific example of that. She seems like the type of person that burps at the dinner table.
I mean, like, there's also, like, the idea of, like, star power in a band, you know? Like, there's, especially when you have, like, 3 people in a band that all have star power, like, that's usually when they break up, you know? Like, the Beatles is a great example. I would think so. It's like all 3 of them. They all made their own albums. They're all, like, really, you know, they're all good. George Harrison, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, you know? It's at least palatable.
Yeah, I think that having multiple people in a band, it can work if you go into the group with that knowledge that it's a super band. Like, a good example of that would be like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Neil Young was already like a pretty established artist when he entered that group.
Right.
And so, like, it was like the combination of both the group themselves and also Young that helped bring in people, and I think that kind of worked. They obviously didn't play for too long together, but they still go back and play together. Yeah, I don't know. Supergroups are weird. Having multiple people with star power in the same group, it usually is a recipe for disaster because you have a lot of, like, clashing ideologies.
I think so too, man. I've noticed that they're the what was it? System of a Down released like 2 new singles. And Darren, from what I've read on, like, some sites, he, like, takes full credit for songs, and then he takes all the royalties for them. And, like, you kind of have to realize, like, yeah, you wrote, like, the guitar and the lyrics for it, but you're not, like, performing the vocals, you're not playing drums, you're not playing bass, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of shit, that's the kind of ego stuff I'm talking about that, like, really does fuck over bands in the long run. Just stupid shit. Like, who cares? Like, split it. Like, a band's supposed to be a democracy anyways.
My allegiance is to. I can't do it.
Oh.
My
gosh,
allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
Well, I think the Jedi are evil. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith memes. Star Wars, guys, if you don't know it.
Oh, I like that. I like that series way too much.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, the new Mando is super good too.
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Okay.
In fact, I've only seen like the first 5 episodes, I think,
Oh, shit.
of season 1. Yeah, I don't know. I get in this mindset when I get home from work. I'm so brain dead that like I just want to sit and not have to think or pay attention to anything. So I just put on Simpsons because even if it's bad, it's good.
That's a good
Like,
point.
Yeah, it's good background. It's like Family Guy. It's like you don't have to pay attention to it, but then like you'll look at the screen, you'll see a funny joke and be like, ha ha ha, funny joke, and then go back to being stupid. Like,
Yeah, I feel you about that, man.
yeah, Mandalorian, I feel like you kind of requires like
You have to remember all the lore and such. I mean, you don't have to, but I like reading into that stuff. Like, I really like digging in and like understanding all the characters and such.
Yeah, it feels like a disservice to not give it attention.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I also kind of wanted to talk about the most recent video we made together called I Quit the Band. I was kind of wondering because I noticed in the Facebook comments that someone was like, oh, dude, like, you actually got like some acting chops, you know? Did you ever work on like any skits or did you ever do any like theater in school or anything?
That was actually my old roommate, and
Oh,
I had no idea if he was being sarcastic because it's kind of his personality to be sarcastic. But yeah, I did a year of high school theater.
Oh, okay.
And then I did about 3.5 years of like repertory theater. Yeah, I mean, you can look at like the tagged photos of me on Facebook, and you'll see me like dressed up as Prince Charming from Cinderella.
That makes
and
sense.
You'll see me. Yeah, you'll see me in a bunch of different weird little roles. I've been in like probably 6 plays, maybe 6 or 8 plays. Probably the most fun one that I had was a play called Road Trippin', which was actually in my high school theater class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I got to do the poster for it too, and I did an old school like magical mystery tour looking poster. But the entire premise of the play was not that it was a coherent play as much as it was a mixture. It was like 10 different scenes depicting old songs that are adapted into like miniature like 5-minute skits.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, it's kind
Brilliant,
of a neat idea.
actually. That could go on forever. It's like SNL, dude.
Yeah, so it's like there was a Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, and it was just like a girl who was like basically ignored by this dude that she was like super into, and then I don't remember what happened, but like then somebody would come out who had some musical talent, and they would play guitar and sing, or they'd have somebody play guitar and then somebody else would sing. And do a cover of the song, and then bam, next song. And I played 3 of like the 8 songs or something, either as the singer or as like the backing artist. And that was we did Road Trippin' by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. We did On the Road Again by Willie Nelson.
Fitting.
And then we did, or I guess then I did, where I actually personally sang and acted, I did a little skit based off of Pearl Jam's, or I guess before that as Jay Frank and the Cavaliers. What is it called?
I can't.
Last Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where can my baby be?
That's cool,
Yeah.
man. You acted and sang.
So that,
Shit, man.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. There was some drama behind the scenes. I feel like
It's always
there's
drama with just
everywhere.
Mike.
Why? It's like the moment you like introduce arts and human beings, there's freaking drama.
The moment
I
you
hate
introduce Mike into a room, there's gonna be some fucking drama.
I try not, but yeah, no, I mean, I go from being a wallflower to being the one like tackling the lead singer.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you being on the podcast. It was fun. Make sure to click all the links down below. Got Mike's YouTube channel, some originals. I believe so. You're going to be releasing them soon.
Yeah.
And all right, guys. We'll check you later.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.